facilities and was terrific with his family. He moved here to Chicago, and there are numbers of Motorolans here in the room, and they could probably finish my sentences as I go through this presentation. We had a very wonderful and deep culture. So what I thought I would do, and I thank IIT and Providence for the invitation and to speak, what I thought I would do today in the spirit is talk about the underlying principles and philosophies that Galvin's used to run Motorola for 75 years and grow it ultimately through the things we did to about a $43 billion company, and then a little bit about what happens to a company in innovation when that culture changes. And then what are really the underpinnings of how do you create, what are the philosophies and processes you use to create innovation. And then if we have enough time, I'll tell you how we reinvented ourselves, because we actually have reinvented ourselves, and we're in the process of seeking to build a multi-billion-dollar global private conglomerate, highly diversified, that your grandchildren would like to work for, because that's what Motorola used to be. So a lot of this story is embedded in a book that Jamie Dimon and myself and a variety of other people, there's a chapter devoted to each of us that had sort of unplanned events occur in their life, and then what did they go and do about it. The history of the family is my grandfather founded the company, ran it for 30 years. My father ran it for 30 years. I ran it for 7 years, and my brother and I have teamed up to reinvent the family again. And our underlying philosophies really come from our definition of leadership, of which there are thousands, tens of thousands of definitions, which is to take people elsewhere, to take them to the place they would never go unless you, the leader, were there. And then secondarily, the only strategy Motorola had, and the only strategy the Galvins have going forward, is continuous renewal in everything, every day, always looking for the next set of events. And innovation, which is technically defined as the introduction of the new, is something that is really hard to do, but it is doable repeatedly, and it's a matter of our belief that it's a function of survival. And if you're not constantly innovating, ultimately you die. And this is as important as anything else. There's a culture associated with how you create great innovation. And for us, it was all about a huge high dignity and respect for people, incredible high integrity, and this relentless pursuit of innovation, and then having a global view. It's actually how we need. Okay. And having a global view, and that's why wonderful people like Martin came to join us from Ireland. And then the underlying objective of Motorola for when we ran the company for 75 years was actually to create 1 or 2 new industries per decade that did not exist the decade before, and do them on a global scale, meaning multi-tens of billions of dollars of industries we would create, and run the company as the world's largest venture capital company. That's how the Galvins believed in innovation. So the story really quickly on sort of what is the background. Some of you may not know Motorola, but how this go elsewhere thing occurred is my grandfather went bankrupt twice. And he went bankrupt twice for 2 reasons. One, because he had an unethical partner the first time. That's why such emphasis on high integrity. And then secondarily, he actually went into businesses that were then already known, large in scale. He was the small guy trying to compete with big guys and companies, and that just didn't work. They ran them out of business. So the going elsewhere part was when he